वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनम् देवकी परमानन्दम् कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. My handwriting is very bad. If you have any difficulty in reading, please let me know. I can dictate. Is it clear now? Mars, Mercury, Sun, Venus. Okay. No, it's okay. No, I just want to see how much mobility you are giving to me. Because my habit is to keep walking. Okay. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. Right. Now, it's okay. Thank you. Thank you. It's all right.
You can move around a lot.
Yes, okay. Now, will you first give me a background about each of you, how much astrology you know, I mean your name, how much astrology you know and what you have been doing. Then I will adjust and talk accordingly. You can start from one end, your name.
My name is Woo Young from Korea. And I just know about just the name of 9 graphs and houses and some aspect. That's my basic.
I see.
My name is Joyce Nelms. I've taken Maharishi Jyotish Block 1 and 2, and I've read several books, and I've also studied Western astrology for the past 10 years.
Western astrology. I see.
I'm Mariam from Mauritius.
From?
Mauritius, and I haven't really done any courses in Jyotish or anything, but I do know the planets, and I'm used to seeing charts and stuff like that.
I see. You are seeing charts.
No, I did my chart, so I know the shapes of the houses and everything, but
My name is Reiko Sakai.
Pardon?
Reiko Sakai, and I came from Japan. And I don't know anything about astrology, Indian astrology.
But you know some astrology.
Yes.
Western?
Yes.
Okay. You know about the 12 houses, the 9 planets, and do you know something about the aspects we make use of in Indian astrology? You don't know. Then I think Vedic astrology without tears, if you ask her to take, she can go and read it and she will understand more. I wrote a small book, Vedic astrology without tears, that is available with him.
We have it.
In the last November, 94 November, I taught a course at St. Jersey. So for that course I prepared a small book, and the tapes are also available with Rakesh Sharma. So because Americans generally depend on the computer more and do not do manual calculations. So they wanted to know how to read a chart without mathematics, without casting. So I wrote out that book specially. Without tears means without your physical labor or doing calculations. So then you will get an idea. Your background?
My name is John Mallard. I've taken the 2 blocks of the Maharishi Jyotish course and read 6 or 7 books, and I'm fairly familiar with the concepts, but not how to apply them as well as I'd like.
How to?
but not as well how to apply those concepts
I see.
in a systematic and orderly way.
I'm Terry Arst. I'm a real beginner. I studied Western astrology years ago. I just bought your book.
Uh-huh.
I just like to learn more about it.
Now, are you familiar with the aspects of Vedic astrology? No. Okay.
Mark Cole. I've had my chart done a lot.
Pardon?
I've had my chart done many times. I'm fairly familiar with the basic concepts. I've read 3 or 4 books. I have a computer program actually that
Pardon?
I have a computer program, so I'm actually
Of your own.
my own.
You have made a
I
program.
didn't make it. I actually have one that I use.
Uh-huh.
And I'm studying more and more charts.
Now, which program is this?
Mikhail Bender.
Ah. Okay. Yourself?
Eileen Danneman.
Pardon?
Eileen Danneman. And from what it sounds like I have, I've done quite a few charts just based on, I've taken Maharishi Jyotish, and I feel very intuitive about it, and people ask me to do some charts. I don't get too deep. I just kind of,
But you have done a course.
oh yeah,
Okay.
and read many books, yeah.
Pardon? Pardon? You'll have to speak a little loudly. Achha. You come from Asia? Thailand? I see. You've taken a course. How long was the course? 8 weeks. So you are familiar with some concepts.
Richard Trice. That's my name.
And
I'm very glad to meet you and be here. I've studied astrology off and on for the last 20 years on my own. And
Vedic astrology.
well, many years ago, I took a course in what they call sidereal astrology.
Right.
Which essentially was Vedic astrology.
Who took that?
Who taught it? The professor's name was Silverman. He was a mathematics professor.
Uh-huh.
And since that time, I've read a lot of Western astrology, and then in the last 3 or 4 years, I've been studying on my own a lot of Vedic astrology. So I am familiar with the concept of aspects.
Then in that case, I will start it from the very beginning. Right? Throughout, some basic concepts should be clear to you. Now, if those basic concepts are clear, you will begin to understand. Now, I wrote this book, Ups and Downs in Career, where I have given case studies, how a prediction is made. I'll give you an idea how quickly you should be able to synthesize a horoscope in your mind. Will you read out your chart to me? Yes? Vedic chart. Vedic. That is,
You mean like what I have in the first
yes, what is your ascendant?
Scorpio rising,
Right. What, anything in Scorpio?
I have Ketu in the first,
Yes.
Mars in my 10th house.
No, that is exactly the type of description you should never do.
I don't know much.
You don't mind my saying that, because I am here to teach, right? And no one here in the classroom is more than 18 years. Outside you go and you will get back your age. Inside the classroom your age is 18 years. No one is more than 18 years. Right? Then only you learn. When in the classroom I reduce everyone's age. And when you step out you will get back your age. Okay? Whenever you describe a horoscope, start like this. Sorry, I don't know your name, but anyway. first house, second house, third house, fourth house. Now if I am describing this horoscope, I say Aquarius ascendant, Ketu in the ascendant, no planet in the second house, no planet in the third house, no planet, one planet Saturn in the fourth house, no planet in the fifth house, Jupiter in the sixth house, Rahu in the seventh house, 4 planets in the 8th house, Mars, Mercury, Sun and Venus, and Moon in the 9th house. That is how I describe. Right? You understand? Now you describe your horoscope in that manner.
You have Ketu in the first house, Moon in the second house, no planet in the third house, Saturn in the fourth house, no planet in the fifth house, Buddha in the sixth house, 4 planets in the seventh house.
Which are the 4 planets?
Surya, Shukra, Guru, and Rahu.
All right, continue.
No planet in the 8th, no planet in the 9th, Mars in the 10th, no planet in the 11th, no planet in the 12th.
Saturn in the 4th house. What is the year of your birth?
1965.
30 years you are completing.
Yeah,
Right?
just in May.
If I describe a horoscope and ask you to say what is the year of birth, will you be able to find out without ephemeris? No. I'll teach you a simple method. You know that Saturn takes 2.5 years. You know that in one Rashi. So in 30 years it will complete one full round of 12 houses. Jupiter takes 1 year, about 13 months, 1 year per Rashi. Rashi means one house, right? You must see every day the planetary position of the day. Cultivate that habit. If I ask you what is the planetary position of 17th June 1995, where are the planets today? So you should be able to describe. Then there is an attunement, you begin to understand. Today, these days, Saturn is in Aquarius. Right? When you were born, Saturn was in Aquarius. So Saturn has completed a full cycle. Pardon? Yes, it has gone to Pisces, it will come back again to Aquarius. It has gone in accelerated motion to Pisces. But Saturn is actually in Aquarius. Accelerated motion, it will come back, then again enter. So Saturn in Aquarius, and when you were born, Saturn was in Aquarius. I am looking at your face. So you were not born today or 1 year ago. You could not have been born in 2 years. Right? And you are looking young enough, so you are not 60 years old. Aye. If you are 60 years old, Saturn would make 2 cycles. So you are not 60 years and you are not 2.5 years. So Saturn, one full cycle to 60 years. No. 2.5 years. No. 30 years. Yes. So you take your Saturn rotate it and find out where Saturn is today. You get the age. Correct?
But you did ask me my year of birth.
Why I asked you is because I just wanted to make sure you can. I'll try that with someone else. Will anyone else describe the horoscope? Yes?
Virgo rising,
Yes.
no planets in the first house.
Where is your Saturn?
Second house.
Saturn is in Libra, right? In his birth horoscope. 30 years it will complete in Libra. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 into 2.5. 12.5. Right? So from Saturn position I arrived at age of 40, 42, 43, 44 roughly. 1. Now I'll ask about his Jupiter. Where is your Jupiter? Ninth house. Now 1995 minus 40 or 42 years. So you go to 53 or 54. So between 1953 and 55 he was born. What is it? Is it?
January 10, 54.
Correct. So once a person describes the horoscope, from Saturn first you find out, you take his birth Saturn, rotate it 2.5 years and come to present Saturn. So you know the age. 1. Then go to Jupiter, confirm it. Then if you remember Rahu, Ketu, it's okay. But take Saturn, Jupiter and confirm it. Now look at this horoscope. Saturn is here these days. Now see this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Here he completes 30 years. 30 years then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 into 2.5. So 20 years or 25 years. So 30 plus 25 years. So roughly 30 plus 28 years. Whatever you like to take. 30 plus 20 years, 50. Or 30 plus 55 years. He was born in 42. If you add 50 years, 92. If you add 52 years, 53 years, 94, 95. So from Saturn you are finding out the age first. In which age group? If the person is present before you, when I see you, I know you are not a 60-year-old woman, I know you are not a 2.5-year-old girl, baby. Right? So I know Saturn has completed one full cycle, so you are around the age of 30. He told me Saturn in Libra, I completed 30 years plus 2.5. Then I ask his Jupiter, confirm it. So I know he is born between 53 and 55. Right? So every morning you get up and just find out what is the planetary position of the day. Having found it out, when you say the first house represents your body. The second house represents the kutumba or the parental family life, the influences of the parents in the beginning, in the childhood. Third house for siblings, brothers and sisters. The fourth house for mother. You know, all these things are given in the book. I'm roughly telling you. Like that you keep on seeing. Now suddenly I will ask you a question. What is the religious spiritual influence on you?
Could you repeat that?
What is the religious or spiritual influence on you?
Of my family?
Or of any guru?
It's very strong.
Huh?
It's strong.
Pardon?
It's strong influence.
Pardon? Strong influence. Who is the guru?
Right now it's Maharishi.
Maharshi. Why did I ask a question about a guru? You have a guru, and at some stage you got seriously interested in spiritual pursuits. But slowly those spiritual pursuits are also have become weak. That is also there in your horoscope. Your moon is in the second house. I'll just roughly describe. Saturn in the fourth house, Ketu in the Lagna, 4 planets in the seventh house. These four planets could be Jupiter, Sun, Venus, Mercury, Rahu. And where is Mercury?
10. No. 6.
Sixth house. Mercury is in the sixth house. One in the house. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Where is Mars? In the 10th house. Right? Mars is in the 10th house. Do you have the degrees of your planets also with you?
Yeah, but you would have to.
Okay, keep it. So now when you are describing the horoscope, the first thing you are going to do is the first house, second house, third house, fourth house, fifth house, sixth house, seventh house, eighth house, ninth house, 10th house, 11th house, 12th house. Then the second method of describing is the lord of the first house, in your case, is Mars, who has gone to the 10th house. Clear? Not clear.
I'm not familiar with the law with it.
You are not familiar with that. Scorpio, the owner of Scorpio is Mars. Right? Now count how far has he gone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. From Scorpio you count how far he has gone. 10th house. Second lord is Jupiter, the lord of Sagittarius. He has gone into the 7th house from your birth horoscope. Third lord is Saturn, is in the 4th house. 4th lord Saturn is in his own house. 5th lord Jupiter has gone to the 7th house. 6th lord Mars has gone to the 10th house. 7th lord Venus is in his own house. 8th lord Mercury has come to the 6th house. 9th lord Moon has come to the 2nd house. 10th lord Sun has come to the 7th house. 11th lord Mercury has come to the 6th house. 12th lord Venus has come to the 7th house. Once I begin to describe like that, then I begin to read a chart, and I would tell you that as and when you decide about your career, about your marriage, you would decide to move out of the place of your birth and go to a different place. Where were you born?
Mauritius.
Mauritius. Have you become an American citizen? Not. But you have moved here and you have been here for quite some time.
I was studying and now I'm working.
Yes, correct. See? 10. Pardon? How do I get that? I'll give you reason for each and everything. And this case studies I have given in this book also. I am taking a one by one case study, one event, two events, and you will begin to understand. How do I get that? It is exactly how do I get it? This is what I explained in my case studies. Most of the astrologers do not produce case studies. I produce case study. You tell me how do you get it? I explain in my book. This is the prediction I gave and this is how I got. Yes, I will explain that. When I take up this horoscope one by one, I will explain in that manner. Right? So I will proceed slowly first because the level is not the same in the class. Right? In this horoscope, the ascendant is Aquarius. Right? The Lord of the first house has gone to the fourth house. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. The Lord of the second house is Jupiter. He has gone to the sixth house and is exalted. That is the point of exaltation for the second Lord. Now, second Lord Jupiter represents money, gains. Exalted. So it promises lot of money. First I look at the horoscope and say, let me see what is the story. The third Lord is Mars, who has gone to the eighth house. Third Lord is Mars, the owner of Aries. Are you following?
Yes.
The fourth Lord is Venus, the Lord of Taurus, again gone to the eighth house. The fifth Lord, the owner of Gemini, is Mercury, gone to the eighth house. The sixth Lord is Moon, gone to the ninth house. The seventh Lord is the Sun, gone to the eighth house. The eighth Lord is Mercury in his own house. The ninth Lord is Venus in the eighth house. The 10th Lord is Saturn in the 8th house. The 11th Lord Jupiter is in the 6th house. Right? Every time when I say in the 6th house, counting is from the ascendant. So from the ascendant he has gone to the 6th house. If you are not understanding, you will please stop me, because my all discussions will be on these lines. Right? You are getting it? And the 12th Lord Saturn has gone to the 4th house. Right? Second house, I told you, is the house of gains, money. The second house in this horoscope is receiving the aspects of 4 planets from the 8th house. Clear? And also the special 9th aspect of Jupiter, so 5 planets. This is the second house. every planet casts aspect on the 7th house. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. On the second house, 1, 2, 3, 4 planets are casting their aspect. Jupiter has a special aspect of 5th and 9th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 5 planets are aspecting the second house. And the second lord of this horoscope, Jupiter, who is also the 11th lord, is exalted in Cancer. This is a horoscope promising a lot of money. Straight, once you look at it, you know this horoscope promises a lot of money. 8th house is also the house of diseases sometimes. Incurable. A lifelong disease this man will have to suffer. As I told you yesterday, there is no such thing as happiness and no such thing as unhappiness. God gives you so much money here and He says, come on, I will also give you bad health. Come on, live with both. Right? So here, yes?
Is that because of the Mars in that house?
What? I'll come to that story slowly. Because I'll have to keep pace.
I thought it was astrology.
Pardon?
I thought with all those planets in the house of the transcendent that he might have been a very, an astrologer or something.
No, I'll come to that slowly. So what are you seeing? Concentration of planets in the 8th house and concentration of aspects on the second house, and the second lord exalted, 11th lord exalted. So from one hand glory, money, and on the other hand health problem. That is destiny. You have to live with it. Yes? Pardon? No, you have to speak a little loudly. Pardon? Why don't you come closer, somewhere here? You people can come closer, so that if you speak so softly from there, I'll find it difficult.
Jupiter being in the 6th house, which is a Dustan house, doesn't it destroy its benefic aspects?
No.
Even though it's
First forget that. First you listen to what I am saying, I'll come to that later. Second lord is exalted, so promises money. Second house receives aspects of 4 plus 1, 5 planets. Right? It is promising money. The 8th house is also the house of spirituality. The 8th house is also the house of prolonged disease. Both. Every house is good and every house is bad. What you call good may not be good, what you call bad may not be bad. Balanced astrology will mean that. When you are doing Vedic astrology, 3 things are always most important. If you miss those 3 points, Vedic astrology will become difficult for you. If you remember those 3 points, Vedic astrology will become very easy for you. In my book Astrology Without Tears, I have given the background. You can take your chart and read that book one step by step and see how I analyze a horoscope. Here, how I give a prediction a case study of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. I'll give case studies, right? Her 10th Lord is the sun. What's your name?
Maya.
Maya. Full name?
Maya Hurdowa.
Maya?
Hurdowa.
How do you spell it?
Hurdowa.
H-U-R?
Haridwar. Hurdowa.
Originally from India.
Ancestors are from India.
Yes, originally Hardwar. But why are you spelling H-U-R?
That's the way it's spelled.
Okay.
You see, when we came from India, it was a colony, so they write the names differently.
Okay. 10th Lord is the Lord of deeds, karma. In the case of Maya, the 10th Lord is the sun. Okay? The 12th Lord is Venus. That is a foreign country. Right? So the connection of the 10th and the 12th Lord will show her connection with a foreign country even in her job. The 5th Lord is the Lord of education in the 7th house with the 10th Lord and the 12th Lord. Yesterday I was telling Bong, remember that? Most of these people who have taken this sadhana, this combination of 12-5, 12-5, see the same thing? See that? 12th Lord and the 5th Lord get connected, and because it get connected in the 7th house, her choice of marriage will also be someone outside her country. Am I right?
I don't know yet.
You will see that. You don't know it yet. You will see that.
Does it also mean the fact that she's studying in a foreign country?
Studying in a foreign country, serving in a foreign country, and the choice of marriage also in a foreign country outside her place of birth.
And the seventh house also has something to do with
Marriage.
travel, too.
Yes, correct.
Other than marriage.
Right.
She'll travel there.
Yes. So once you see this, you see what is the pattern emerging out. Then you see the aspects. Jupiter in her 7th house casting the 9th aspect on the 3rd house. 3rd house is the house of siblings, brothers and sisters. So she will have some brother or sister also. You have? Right?
Yeah.
Then there is some method of counting. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does not work. Jupiter casting its aspect on the 3rd house will generally not allow you to be the only child. A rough principle. So aspects allow you also. Aspects are very important in Vedic astrology. Right? So you see the aspects. Then one thing on which you have to concentrate slowly through practice, I have given in that book. The planets are posited in some nakshatras, constellations. So you have to remember 9 planets, 12 rashis, 27 nakshatras, 3. Right? 9, 12, 27. That's all you remember in the beginning. 9 planets, 12 rashis, 27 nakshatras. 9, 12, 27. 9, 12, 27. From here slowly this emerges out. What is the degree of your Jupiter? Will anyone see this and help her?
12 degrees, 48.4 minutes.
Pardon?
12 degrees, 48.4 minutes.
Right. What is the degree of your Saturn?
22 degrees, 34.9 minutes.
What is the degree of your Mars?
20 degrees, 5.9 minutes.
What is the degree of your Sun?
5 degrees, 2.7 minutes.
What is the degree of your Moon?
21 degrees, 31.6 minutes.
Right. Now, Moon 21 degree 31, now you open the horoscope, you see you are born in the period of Venus. See that. Help her. Dasha. Followed by Sun.
Okay.
Venus period you may have got for 5 or 6 years maximum. So your Venus period should have been over. You are born in 68.
65.
65. 5 years roughly 70. 6 years Sun 76. 10 years Moon 86. 7 years Mars 93. At the moment you are having the period of Rahu.
It shows 3 years more here, 65 to 73.
Which one?
Venus.
Venus goes to
Also here, you were saying 17.
At present you are passing through the period of Rahu or is find out.
Rahu, 19. No, she's almost in it. She's actually at the end of her Mars.
Okay, end of her Mars. And so she is going to enter a Rahu period. Right?
5 years.
So there are two things now. 1 hour ago you are in your house. Then you got into a car or took the lift from someone and reached here. At 7 o'clock you are in some other place, at 10 o'clock you are here. Right? You have moved from that place to this place. This is what is called the Dasha system. That is the wheel of time. So once you know the horoscope, 9 planets, 12 rashis, 27 nakshatras, then you will have to find out what is the dasha you are passing through. Once you know what is the dasha you are passing through, you know what is likely to manifest in your life now.
She's going to get married after she's in Rahu.
Pardon?
She's going to get married when she's in her Rahu.
Pardon?
She's going to get married when she's in her Rahu.
Now, therefore, what is going to happen, that is to be seen according to the wheel of time. So every horoscope has a static promise and a dynamic promise. Okay? A static promise and a dynamic promise. I'll take another case. Will you please describe your horoscope? You don't have. Will you describe your horoscope?
Yes. Sagittarius ascendant.
Now just concentrate mentally. Will that be a strain? Mentally, can you concentrate? Sagittarius ascendant.
Yes.
And?
Rahu in the first house.
Right.
Second house, Sun and Mercury.
Second house, Sun and Mercury. Right?
Third house, no planets.
Yeah.
Fourth house, Mars.
Fourth house, Mars.
Fifth house, no planets.
Fifth house, no planets.
Sixth house, no planets.
Sixth house, no planets.
Seventh house, Ketu.
Seventh house, Ketu.
Eighth house, Jupiter.
Eighth house, Jupiter.
Ninth house, no planets. 10th house, no planets. 11th house, Saturn. 12th house, Venus and Moon.
Venus and?
Venus and Moon.
And?
Moon.
Moon. Okay.